Hello, good morning, how are you? Welcome to Creative Money. In this video, I'm going to be telling you creative ways that you can be making money from home right now. Okay, let's do this. Before we start, I want to say that all of these are possible and they're all 100% possible, but you have to commit. There's no magic fixes for making money, and anyone that tells you there are is lying. Anyone that tells you there are, I'm not sure. Grammar is not one of them. Could be. Anyway, moving on. If you start any of these and follow it through until the point that it's profitable, then it will be profitable. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Once you get there and once you make it make money for you, it's going to be making money for you. So I know it's important not to put too much time into something that's not working, but really if you put your time into any of these, it will make money for you. Even if it's just a bit at first, if you commit to it and keep getting better and keep learning how to do it better, you will 100% make money. And for those of you that aren't exactly sure how you can make money from your home right now, well, I'm going to show you and give you some ideas to do that right now. So number one, teaching online. And you might have heard of, there's quite a few sites you can do this, and you might have heard about it before. And I know a lot of people that make good money from teaching online. You can make up to £2,500 a month, or even more if you spend some of your time teaching online. And there are some good sites that you can do this on. I'm going to put the links to all the sites I mentioned in this video in the description below. But just off the top of my head, the biggest market player is VIP Kids or VIP Kids, and you'll be teaching to kids in China. Now this is a huge growth industry right now as well, because there are a lot more people spending a lot more time at home. So there's a lot of kids that can't go into school right now that the parents still want to have online tutoring, and they're using online tutors. There's another good site you can do where you don't necessarily have to have perfect English, called Cambly. Now you can go on there and you don't need a degree, you don't need the TEFL or teaching certificate, you just get paid for having conversations with people. It doesn't even necessarily need to be with a lesson plan, it's more just about practicing English by having conversations with someone who is an English speaker. Number two, and this is definitely my favorite because it's what I love doing, is starting a YouTube channel or an online channel of some sort. If it's something you thought about doing before and you thought about how you could build a YouTube channel or how you could build a Facebook channel, or just something you've thought about, then there'll never be a better time than right now. If you've been thinking about it, then why not give it a go? Give it a try. Start filming yourself and start putting it out there, because if you continually put it out there and continually get better, then you will make money from it eventually. Now with YouTube channels, it does take a while to get monetized, so you're not going to start making money from it straight away until you get those 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch times. You're not going to get monetized right away, but by doing this, then you will be making money for yourself in the future. What you can do in the meantime is, if you have started making videos or you plan to start making videos, then you could also become an editor for other people. Now you can just reach out to other people that are on YouTube or on social media, and you can edit their videos for them and begin making money that way straight away. There's a huge demand right now for video, and there's a huge demand for content. So it is a good time to start, because a lot of people are stuck at home and are wanting things to watch. I don't know about you, but I'm always scrolling through my subscription feed, and I've usually watched most of them. So it is a good time to start building an audience, because there is an audience of people out there that are 100% interested in what you have to say. Number three, sell things you don't use anymore. Just sell things around the house. I guarantee that you have some things around the house that you don't use anymore, and it's just sat there. You bought it because you thought it was a great idea at the time, and you just never used it. Well, someone else might want that, or might need it, or it might help someone to put that onto Facebook Marketplace or eBay and sell it online for maybe less than you bought it for originally, but that's worth a lot more to you if you never use it than it is just sat on your floor or sat in the cupboard or sat at the garage. That's money you can be doing something with, either buying yourself something else that you might actually use, or It's money you could be putting towards one of these other businesses that I'm going to mention throughout this video. Now, like for me, this is something I did a lot growing up. If I stopped using something, I would just sell it, get rid of it, because I'd rather have the cash to buy something else. Just try and forget about what it originally cost you, because the likelihood is you might do, but you're unlikely to get that full cost back. But you know, it's better to have money in your pocket than it is to just have something in the cupboard gathering dust. Even broken electronics, like an old laptop that you don't use anymore, that doesn't work, could be sold for parts, and you can sell all sorts of things on eBay as faulty, and people will still buy them because they're buying it for parts. Even your old clothing, it might be something you won't wear anymore, but someone else will. And vintage clothing is massively in. So there's even other sites like Etsy, and I'm sure you clothing people will know a lot more than me, but you can definitely sell your clothes. And there's also the added advantage that you'll be decluttering. This is a great time to get rid of things that you never use anymore. The next one is helping others. And what I mean by this is, why don't you charge less than you would normally because you have spare time anyway? So let's say you have a profession and you're great at that, you're usually getting paid a lot, but right now you can't work. And if you're furloughed, then obviously you're not allowed to work anyway. But if you are at home looking for creative ways to make money online, let's just breeze past that. But what I'm saying is, if you're very good at something and you usually sell those services for a lot more, then why don't you help someone else out by charging less, because you have the spare time anyway, and it would be great for their business. It would be great to help them and help them build their business by selling your expertise or experience for less than you would normally charge. It's a great time to connect with people as well and start building those relationships. Start building a network of people by working with them for less than you would normally charge, and it's still money in your pocket. It's a win-win for everyone. Maybe you help a small business that's starting out. Maybe if you don't have a particular skill or expertise, you can become a virtual assistant. And there are plenty of virtual assistant jobs online through sites like Upwork, Guru, Freelancer. And you can just do little things that aren't necessarily really skilled work, but that do require time and effort into. Just even a few hours a day, that can be money straight away that you're making. Okay, the next one, creating a simple product. And this sounds a lot scarier than it is. But let's say, for example, the other day, my stepmom here, she made some masks, and it was just from a piece of a newspaper that, it wasn't made out of newspaper, the way of how to make it was from a newspaper. And it was just using old fabric that's left around the house to create new masks. So you can go out and wear these homemade masks. Now, obviously they're not surgical or medical grade or anything like that, but they're quite good to wear to stop you coughing on other people. Now, these could be sold online on Etsy or eBay or Facebook Marketplace or whatever, and that's just one example. You can create something very, very simple, especially on sites like Etsy, that other people would be interested in using. For myself, when I was younger, I actually bought online, there's a like a hole punch that cuts out like plectrums from old cards. So if I had like an old plastic card, you would use this hole punch to cut out a plectrum, and I sold those on eBay. It can be very, very simple, but if you can come up with something that satisfied a need, then there is a marketplace for that. It could also be a digital product. Now, specifically relating it back to content creation, which is what I normally do, you could take this time to create a preset for photos or create a LUT for your videos, which is just, it would make it look slightly nicer by doing a color grade. Or you could do that for your photos. You could build a course selling your experience. You can create any sort of info product or digital product that is still you being creative that you can sell online. Even I've seen some people starting to sell virtual backgrounds for Zoom, where they just create a virtual background in Photoshop, because Zoom's a huge thing right now. There is definitely opportunities because the whole world is changing, whether we like it or not, and a lot more people are going to be spending a lot more time working from home. So just think, how can you satisfy that need with a digital product or with a product that you can make from home? And you'll actually, rather than just making money right now, you'll have a business that can last a lot longer than that too. The next one is dropshipping. And this is something that I haven't particularly done myself, but I am mentioning it because I know it is a good way of making money. And there are lots of dropshipping gurus on YouTube that you can search for. Some of them, I mean, they have varying levels of success and varying levels of trust, so I would be very careful who you listen to. But if you can usually tell from the reviews of anyone's courses and the comments on their YouTube video whether it's someone you should actually listen to. But dropshipping is definitely a viable way to make money from your home. And what it is, for those of you that don't know, it's basically selling a product online, but you don't ever own the product. So the product's fulfilled and sourced from somewhere else, usually for a lot of people, China, but it's bought and on your own website. So it's all marketing. You just create the website, you create the traffic, and people then buy it from you because you made it look nice with some branding and you bought some ads to push it out there. Yet the product is always fulfilled by the other end, so you never handle anything yourself. All you do is go and put in the address of the customer, and then you pay the supplier for it, and they ship it directly to the customer. It is a lot, like there's a bit more to it than that, obviously, but this is just sort of like, that is an idea, and it's definitely something you could build a whole business out of dropshipping, and you could start it right now because e-commerce is huge. People are still ordering and buying a lot of things, and there is an opportunity to make money there. Obviously, it's clear I'm not an expert on that. But what I would say is, if you do it, then make sure you do it well. Learn the skills, upskill, get better at it, and do it to the best of your ability, because it does take a bit of an upfront investment buying things like the domain, and actually Shopify is what most people use, but you get a free trial, and there's certain marketing fees like Facebook ads and paying for influencer ads that you would have to pay for. So there is a bit of a upfront cost to getting it started. So if you're going to do that, then make sure you see it through to the end and learn and get better with it. Because if you're going to do it, you may as well do it well. And if you continue doing it and you continue learning and improving with it, then it will 100% make you money. Next one is doing online surveys. And surveys have a bit of a bad reputation, which is completely fair enough, because lots of them don't pay out. They offer you like this chance to do an online survey, and then you never actually reach the threshold to get paid. It would be like, come take this survey for $5, but we won't pay you out until you reach $100, and then there's never enough surveys, or it would take a silly amount of time to reach that $100. But there are certain sites that do work. I would actually recommend going to Reddit/BeerMoney, and you can see loads of the sites that do work and are working right now. It's also another great subreddit for showing you how to do more of these things, more ways you can make money online. Again, I'll put it in the description below, so you don't have to go and search it right now. Just go check that description at the end of the video, and I'll have all of the links to everything I mentioned here. One site I do know that is working right now, especially in the UK, is a site called Prolific, and they'll just offer you they'll offer you surveys based on the information you put in at the beginning. So as long as you're the target demographic they're looking for, then they will pay you for doing surveys. Because companies need data, you can provide data, and they are paying for your data. The main thing about this is you're giving up a lot of time. It's not particularly creative. It definitely does make money, but to make good money on it, then you'd have to spend a lot of time doing surveys. The next one is selling your expertise. No matter who you are, or no matter where you're from, you have an expertise and you have a skill, and you can do something. I'm sure you can. You're good at something, and you 100% can sell that expertise to other people. Now, there's a bunch of sites you can do that on. Off the top of my head, Fiverr, Freelancer, Upwork, Guru. You can create gigs on each of these where someone can then find you, and you can charge for your expertise. Now, Fiverr is a great one because you can actually come up with something quite quirky, and it used to be for £5, but these days you can charge anything, and there's hardly any gigs that are actually £5. But you can come up with something like, someone used to sell a potato and send it to someone's address as a happy birthday message. You know, and it worked. I've got loads and loads of orders. You could, I did one when I was younger, which was, I will worry about something for you. So just tell me what your problem is, send it to me on Fiverr, and I'll worry about it for you, so you don't have to worry. Yeah, that was stupid. But yeah, the point is, if you have a skill or you have expertise, you can sell it, and you should charge for it. And why not charge slightly less than you would do normally? But even not, like, you don't have to charge less than you would do normally. Maybe you've never worked in this way before, and it's something you're happy to talk about, something you enjoy talking about. Well, charge for it, because I guarantee you there's a lot of people out there that are charging for it that don't know as much as you do. you, and they're getting away with murder. So go and do it yourself, because you probably know more about it than they do, and people are getting ripped off paying for those people when you're an actual expert in it and you have expertise in that field. It's just that you've never worked online before, and now you have the chance to, so give it a go. Next one is setting yourself up on Airbnb for the future. Now we've got this massive travel ban right now, depending on when you're watching this. Hopefully the further on you watch it, we don't. But right now in May of 2020, we do. So obviously you're not gonna get any bookings on Airbnb right now. But what you can do is you could take photos of your house or where you're living. You could set up the Airbnb profile, become a host. So next time you do go away traveling, or next time you have a weekend away or whenever, then you could put your house or your home onto Airbnb, and anyone else will be able to book it, and you'll get money for that. So think about it, while you're away traveling or you're on holiday, someone's paying to be in your house. And you're completely covered on Airbnb, by the way. If there's worst case scenario, there was some damage or something went missing, Airbnb covers it up to something silly like £1 million. I know it's a bit of a hassle, but that would very rarely happen. And you can see the reviews of someone that would come and stay at your Airbnb, so you can judge them and accept them based on that. It is a good way of making money, and now is a great time to set yourself up for that. Even photos from your phone, or if you have a nicer camera, but photos from your phone would be great. Just take photos of the whole property, figure out how to do it, sign up to Airbnb. Again, there will be a link in the description below. And God, I hope the travel ban is lifted soon. There's also another website, and again I'll say that I haven't used it before myself, but it's called neighbor.com, and it's a way of selling your storage too. So if you have somewhere that you can store things, you can sell that. There's another one for parking spots where you can sell your parking spot. And just why not take this time to set yourself up on those platforms, so then in the future you'll have the opportunity to make money completely passively while you're away traveling, and you're getting paid from something that you set up now, even in a year or 2 years' time. The next one, basic creative web design. Now that might sound scary if you've never done web design or if you've never made a website, but sites like WordPress and Squarespace make it very easy these days to set up a website. It's all drag and drop, and it's all just site builders. So you just have to be creative, and you can use themes on there that will make it all really easy for you. You don't really need to know any code, and you don't really need to know all the back end of it if you're just going to set up a simple site on WordPress or Squarespace, because there are a lot of businesses right now that need to upgrade their websites. Think about your local businesses and your local area. I'm sure there's some websites from local businesses near where you live that need an upgrade, that would have been built a long time ago, or maybe they don't even have a website, and you could charge a relatively small amount to build them a website on WordPress, on Squarespace. Even relatively small for someone that doesn't know how to do it could be 200, could be 500, could be 1,000, but you can help out these small businesses by creating a website for them. It's a skill that you have, or a skill that you've recently learned and upskilled for, that you can deliver for them. This person on the other end of it that owns the small business may have no idea what they're doing with creating a website, may just find it really scary and not like technology. And if that's you as well, by the way, then why not take the time to learn how to build your own website? It's really not very hard, and Squarespace and WordPress make it very easy, and that could be a way to save money on a web designer. But if you're the other end of that and you have the opportunity to charge for it because someone doesn't want to spend the time learning it and they just want to pay someone to do it, 200 quid's not a huge amount for a small business or a medium-sized business, that you could just go and create them a simple 4-page website with the about page, what we do, and contact. It's quite easy, and you can create really nice looking websites in a relatively short amount of time. You could do a good website for someone, if you know what you're doing, in a day or two, especially when it's very basic like that. It's a skill they don't know and you can deliver on. So don't worry about they could do it. They don't know how to do that skill, and you're delivering a service for them for less than they would pay a big web design company. And the final one, which is possibly the most boring but also the most valuable, is learning for your financial future. because it is the most important skill you'll ever have. If you can understand your own finances and you can understand economics and you can understand investing, I mean, those are huge three things to say. You just have to understand those three things. But if you can start to give yourself a basis on it, and you can start to understand why you should invest, and you can start to understand how to manage your own personal finances better, then you're actually going to make a lot more money in the long run than any of these I mentioned before. Because the important thing for the long term and to really be financially free is to understand how to make your money work for you. So if you take the time to learn now, which is a skill that we are not taught in schools very well, and it's a skill we should be taught better, but if you can take the time to learn how to invest and how to manage your money better, well then there will be huge rewards in the long term. And this is actually also one of the best times to learn that stuff, because the stock market, investments and everything right now is crazy right now. It's all over the place, and the reason is because we're in such an unprecedented, everyone loves saying unprecedented right now, we're in such an unprecedented situation. So there will be opportunities to invest, and it's a great time to learn. Even if you just set aside some time per week to learn it, and even if you put a little bit of money into the market, or you put a little bit of money aside to play with, or you just watch it as an observer, there will definitely be a chance to learn here, because it's something that's never happened before. We are on the back of a once in 100-year event. This is the time to learn that stuff, because if you do learn it and you do learn it properly and understand it, then you'll get rewards for the rest of your life. And that's it. I hope some of that helped you. I hope one of them helped you. I hope all of them helped you, and I wish you the best of luck with it. There are definitely ways to make money from home. There are always new ways popping up to make money online. And so if you have anything you're doing right now, or if you know of something that I didn't mention or feel that could be covered better, then please let me know in the comments below, because as much as you could possibly learn on this video, hopefully you can learn some more in the comments if people share their own experience of how they're doing it as well. That's it. Thank you for watching, and if you did enjoy it, again, please help me out by liking this video, leaving a comment, destroy that thumbs up, absolutely batter it, just get into it, and I'll see you in the next one.